Welcome to your Federal ER training channel. In today's video, we're covering MSPB 101, what the U.S. Merit Systems Protection Board does, how its cases flow, and what it means when the board has no quorum. Whether you're new to ER or seasoned, this one matters. The U.S. Merit Systems Protection Board, or MSPB, is an independent federal agency that protects the integrity of the civil service. It hears appeals from federal employees who believe they've been wrongly removed, demoted, suspended, or otherwise subjected to a personnel action. The MSPB was created by the Civil Service Reform Act of 1978. The board is led by 3 members. All 3 are nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. One of those members is separately nominated as chairman. The president can also name a vice chairman without Senate action. Each board member serves a 7-year term. And here's the catch. The terms continue to run, even if no one is occupying the seat. That's how we can end up with no quorum. Here's how a case starts at MSPB. The agency issues a notice of proposed action, such as a removal or demotion. The employee has a chance to respond. Then, the deciding official issues a notice of decision. If eligible, the employee may file an appeal to the MSPB, typically within 30 days. That appeal is assigned to an administrative judge, also called an AJ. Administrative judges, or AJs, are neutral decision-makers employed by the MSPB. They review the appeal, hold hearings if needed, examine the evidence, and issue what's called an initial decision. That decision explains whether the agency's action is upheld or reversed, and why. Once the AJ issues an initial decision, both parties, the agency and the employee, have 35 days to challenge it. This is done by filing a petition for review with the full board. That petition asks the board to reconsider the AJ's decision, based on legal or factual issues. If no petition is filed, the AJ's decision becomes the final decision of the MSPB. And that's important, because a final decision can then be appealed in court. That's what we mean when we say the decision becomes judicially appealable. If neither party, employee nor agency, files a PFR within the 35-day deadline after an AJ's initial decision, the decision becomes the final decision of the MSPB. This is true regardless of whether the board has a quorum. Once final, the decision can be appealed to the Federal Circuit within 60 days. When the MSPB lacks a quorum, as occurred from January 2017 to March 2022, the board's ability to function is severely limited. Here's a detailed look at the consequences. Administrative judges continue to operate. AJs can still hear cases and issue initial decisions on new appeals. This means the MSPB's regional and field offices continue processing cases at the initial stage, ensuring some level of adjudication persists. Petitions for review are stalled. Without a quorum, the board cannot act on PFRs filed by employees or agencies challenging an AJ's initial decision. These petitions accumulate in a backlog, awaiting a restored quorum. For example, by 2019, the backlog had grown to over 2,500 cases, and by 2022, it exceeded 3,500. No final board decisions. The board cannot issue final decisions, which delays resolution for employees seeking reinstatement, back pay, or other remedies, as well as for agencies seeking to uphold disciplinary actions. This limbo can cause financial strain, emotional hardship, and uncertainty for appellants. Alternative appeal routes. Employees have limited options to bypass a quorumless board. They can appeal an AJ's initial decision directly to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit within 60 days, provided they do not file a PFR with the board. However, this route is costly, approximately $600 in filing fees, and skips the board's review, which may offer a more favorable standard of review for employees. These are crazy times. So much is uncertain and changing from one day to the next. Even so, the work continues, and for those who thrive on excellence and continual growth, FederalERPro will be here to support.